Warren is looking to hand Marietta its first loss of the season, as the Lady Tigers are 14-0 so far. Early first quarter, Alyssa Baker drives inside and finds Braxton Croft under the hoop, and she gets the bucket through some heavy traffic. And it's Leah Lauer. She's going to take a screen, then pull up for a three and bury it. She was fired up after that one. Warren needs to respond, and Sarah Petty is the one to do it, attacking baseline, then going reverse layup for the circus shot. 5-2 Marietta. Mackenzie James McGuire down in the corner. She'll take a three and nail it. 3 of her 10 first half points. Here's Kendall Vanderwall launching a three, and that's good. She caught fire from beyond the arc. Final seconds of the first half, James McGuire tosses up a prayer, and it goes. Warren cuts Marietta's lead to 10 going into half. To the third quarter, Jada Arnold puts her head down and gets to the paint to get the tough bucket. Lady Tigers now, Vanderwall hoists a three, and she's able to get the friendly bounce. She finished with 25 points. Marietta goes on to win 69-50 and stay undefeated.